Eventually, you accept yourself. And it might have been challenging for you the last part of your life, last several years, or maybe even today. And maybe today is the day that you will accept yourself. And if you're a person who is a really caring, empathetic person, um, who deals in a different realm, let's say, of existence, you could really be having a challenging time right now because what you're feeling is this urge to accept yourself, to know your importance and why you're in the world and what you're meant to do now as the world is shifting. I'll tell you a really quick story because it's important because I have to accept myself today. I can't help others if I can't fully accept myself. And I haven't done that fully because, as you, I didn't know who I was. Not fully. We never do because it's always coming about, it's always evolving. And sometimes we miss it, though. Sometimes we don't even see it because it's right in front of us. That's what happened for me. And then you end up in a place where you're not loving yourself, where you're not doing what you want in your life. So I'm changing that today. Now, mine was a little different, though, because I was doing something very different in the world, but you are as well. We're all supposed to do something unique, otherwise, nothing changes. The world doesn't evolve unless we come in and become different people. But that can be challenging as well because I had so much judgment and I hid myself because I can't be talking about helping people in this consciousness or spiritual realm. That made no sense. And in 2017, I sold my business because I was, I had all this money because I was this great vocal coach. But something said, I said, no, something's changed. The world is going to change. And Wilhelm has given me something I know is going to be important. Didn't know how that was going to come about. And I kept dabbling in it because I said, my life is supposed to help people become who they're meant to be in this world. My life is supposed to help them understand themselves because I couldn't do that. And it was a horrible existence. And maybe I'll do it before I turn 75 on November 2nd. So maybe today is the day I will accept myself, but I have to. When you discover something new, you have to give it to others. Otherwise, they don't evolve, our world doesn't change, and we continue in chaos. So in 1989, when I sat down and started receiving Wilhelm, I thought this was the most bizarre thing ever because I had a very clear direction, connection. It was so clear and it frightened me. And it gave me all this information and I kept changing things. It even taught me how to create my business. It even taught me how to heal. It took me through mind body healing. It took me through absolutely everything. But I couldn't accept that it had happened either because it was very different. And now I understand why. Because it hadn't been done before. You haven't been done before either, meaning that whatever you came to offer is in front of you now. And that is what you're meant to bring to the world. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to give you a little gift here because I've never been able to explain to anyone what this work was, what Wilhelm was, what it was meant to do, and what was occurring in our world now. But see, Wilhelm gave us all of that. It was energetic changes, and they were interpreting it and giving me that information. I had no clue it was happening. But then the other thing, it was all aligned. You're aligned as well. There is an energetic blueprint within you that unfolds at different times. And right now it's being pushed because you're being affected by the changes of our planets and energies. I never understood any of that and never studied it, never looked at anything about astrology. Most people will push that away. Except we start to understand then that everything is energy, including you and all of us. And then we decide how we're going to use it in our lives and in the world. And that's what's happening now. So there's this, I put together this document. I want for you to have it. It explains a little bit more of how this came about. Wilhelm's revolutionary transmission, an unprecedented 36-year journey to human evolution. For the first time in recorded human history, a non-physical consciousness has delivered 36 continuous years of evolving guidance, creating humanity's first complete operating manual for conscious evolution during planetary transformation. This has never happened before in human history. The revolutionary nature of Wilhelm's transmission. What you are witnessing through Wilhelm's teaching is unprecedented in the annals of human spiritual history. Never before has humanity received such detailed, consistent, and practical guidance from a higher dimensional consciousness over such an extended period. This is not merely another spiritual teaching or channeled work. It represents a completely new form of cosmic communication specifically designed and timed for humanity's current evolutionary leap into consciousness. That's what happened. And so, from the person who was terrified all of my life, didn't know who I was, didn't know what I wanted to do, and just looking for help, and I sit down and I start receiving this information, and that's what it turned into. Because it's turned into something that can transform anyone's life and our world, because we're all creating our world. And we move through energetic changes in our lives that are our evolutionary journey. Some of them feel terrible. Some of them we've done horrible things in the past. We've done bad things, and we have to learn forgiveness. We have to learn everything. We have to do that with ourselves, and we also have to do it with the world. And that is the information that Wilhelm gave us. I never would have told you that it would have been organized in this way. I didn't know. I'm saying this because we all have something that develops, and it develops in certain times, when maybe when the world changes or when it's changing now. And so, but if we don't accept ourselves, our lives don't progress and we don't offer anything to anyone else. So what happened is I've been holding back because I started the program in 2021, and I stopped because I was so surprised that it was transforming in brilliant ways, and I didn't know why. Now I do. It's because all the information I received and why I healed and changed was because this information was aligned, and it was cosmic, it was ancient, it was wisdom, and it was all there. I know it's challenging for others to believe this. Most people won't. My family didn't understand it. They don't believe it. But I'm giving you some of the documentation so you can see it, so you can believe in yourself. We learn different things in human existence over time, and different people will bring it in. And I guess I was one who was meant to do this, and I resisted it. And I hid from myself like you might have done or might be doing now. But now we can't do that. So I'm completing all of this work for everyone. So I want everyone also in my program to understand, and all the other people I've worked with to understand why I'm changing, because I've been given the first, I called it yesterday, the foolproof personal development plan. And I know it's that because you can't fail. I've done all the failing. I've received all the answers for you. I've gotten all the questions. I've gone through absolutely everything. There is no reason that you have to move through all of that stuff. Actually, that's what we're all meant to do. If we gain something, we give it to others and we further evolution. And that's what I'm doing. But I wanted you to have this today along with some other information so you'll understand, because this is the last day that I'm taking people into the program this way, because I have to finish now. And I'm going to do this in this next year. Those people who come in, I'm going to work with them very closely, because then I'm going to document and leave all of this work, because it'll be here forever for people to use, because we'll keep evolving. This is a living philosophy. We're never done with consciousness, and you'll read some of that in the message in the next several days. But I wanted you to have this because now is the time where self-acceptance for you is going to be really important, and I'm doing that now, because to discover you have something that could change the world was really overwhelming. And no one has told me why that wouldn't work yet. You see, because there's no reason why you can't be happy and successful, because it's within you, and I've been given the blueprint for you to find it. That's where we are. But I will admit, I accepting that was so challenging, just like what you're looking at and what you might accept about yourself could be challenging, but it's there. We all have it. And now is the time we're meant to do it. I'll see you soon.